Perfect.
Good morning. Welcome to the live stream of Tradinformed Trading Model, which is an Excel trading model. And this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, we're going to be looking at the Tradinformed model. We're going to be testing on the 5-second time frame, and we're going to be testing on the NQ. With me this morning is Ren Vallo. How are you doing today, Ren?
Good, Mark. Good morning. Yeah, it's good to see
Good
you.
morning.
I see
Yeah,
you
good
made
to
some
see you.
improvements to our strategy too. It looks a lot better.
So yeah, this is something, okay, so I'll do a little bit. We've just bought a trade there. I don't know if you're here present on the live stream. You can see we've just taken a new trade. We're about 12 or 13 minutes before the start of the US Open at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So I've made a few tweaks to strategy 2. If you've been joining us on any of these other live streams or watched on catch up, we have two strategies, two different types of strategies. One of them is essentially a trend following momentum style strategy, and strategy 2 is more of a mean reversion type strategy. And we've not been having in recent weeks, we've not been having the ideal conditions for the NASDAQ 100. We're trading the NASDAQ futures. We want this nice, strong, surging uptrend that lasts for a period of time. And this strategy really cashes in. So I've done a little bit of tweaking to strategy 2, and as Ren just commented there, you can see on the bottom left of the screen there is the current market on the 5-second time frame. This is NQ, NASDAQ 100 futures, trending down. You can see that with the linear regression line, and strategy 2 results above that. If you can see my cursor top in the chart there, I will just zoom in just to focus here so you can see. There we go. So we have the upwardly sloping trend of this line. As I was just explaining to Ren off air, what I've done is I've made this slightly more of a mean reverting strategy. So we're entering on a deeper retracement, and this type of choppy but downwardly trending market has suited this setup well, and we'll see what we get when we open in about 10 minutes. Any thoughts, Ren?
Well, I think it definitely improved the strategy. We have like a bit of a downtrending market, and we've got a positive, trading strategy, and that's impressive considering what kind of market we've got. Lots of volatility, lots of downward movement, and somehow or another we're making money on that. So that's impressive. I'm quite impressed.
Well, I've tightened up the profit target and stop loss as well, actually. So what I'm going to do is, let me just check here. So we are currently in a trade. We're currently in a long trade at the moment. So I won't do it at the moment. But what I was just going to do is, what I often do is have a look at the profit target and stop loss. They're the key variables that we can change in this strategy. That's going to change our percentage winning trades, the number of trades we take, and the balance between the size of our winning trade, the size of our average winning trade, and the size of our average losing trade. So at the moment, we've got all of these active, all the trailing stop, normal stop loss, and a profit target.
So you've adjusted a little bit, tightened up our stop loss and tightened up our profit target. So they're very small in NASDAQ terms because the points that we're going for normally would be a little bit higher, right? But
exactly, yes. So let's try it. Even though we've got a trade open here, let's just try the slightly wider profit target and stop loss. And what I'm going to do is just go over here. If you're using this spreadsheet model, it's available. Exactly the version that I'm showing here is available as a free download. If you haven't already done so, or you would like to upgrade to the latest version, which you can do, there's a link below this video and you can sign up there. So we keep this pretty regularly updated. We've done some changes in the last couple of weeks, haven't we, Ren? And we're working on some further changes offline and testing. But it's still in a demo format, so we would very much welcome feedback from users.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's definitely the latest enhancements are been very good. I've had a really good experience doing some testing with it. So yeah, over the last week, I did quite a bit of testing and kind of like, tinkering a little bit with the strategies, but I haven't had, this is a really good result that you've come up with today. I've tried to tinker around with it last week. I wasn't able to find anything better than that. That's for sure. But yeah, when we get those uptrending markets, strategy one really works. But when you get these really choppy downward movements, strategy one just doesn't work well in the short term time frame. But yeah, everything has been dialed in pretty good. The response times are good, even with the latency. It seems to be performing quite well. And I was matching up our back testing results to the results on our sheet, and they're coming in really close. So within real, it's a very realistic simulation.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, to anybody watching the video or on live stream, this project is a collaboration. It came about when Ren contacted me. Ren's background is in the you were doing the automated trading before I really got involved in it at all. My background is all in back testing and strategy development and technical indicators. Ren, I'm sure you're interested in those things as well, but you're coming from it much
Absolutely.
more from the slightly more technical point of view. You've already got a trading model using Excel that is trading on a much faster time frame than this. A slightly different thing, but you came to me and suggested we put together a joint project to create something a bit different.
Exactly. Yeah. So I started off when I found your spreadsheets and I noticed that you're doing this. I saw the one-stop shop potential. I do some automated trading using just straight VBA, not so much like this is a little bit of a different setup, which is really good because you can see the backtest model. In the previous automated trading that I've done, it's been in VBA, so you don't really. It's like a black box. You don't really see what's happening in the background, and it uses the VBA that is connected to Python. So like it's very much a black box, and I was using Excel to export all of my results and trades into the Excel sheets. But looking at Mark's a couple of years ago, I found Mark's back test models, and I'm like, hey, this would be the perfect place to put everything. You can see it. Everyone's familiar with Excel, so it's just a perfect marriage of the two things going together. And I think it's one of the few places in the world where you can actually see this automated trading and have it all fully displayed in Excel in a way that most people can really comprehend. And if they don't, they can always download an ebook to learn a little bit more about Excel. Mark has a bunch of these ebooks out there to walk you through the different pieces that you need to know. But it's very straightforward, and I think that's what attracts me to the idea of putting it all together in one spot.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So you touched on a couple of things there, actually, Ren. This is in Excel. So we've still got about 5 minutes before the market opens. The model is enabled. We're currently waiting for a trade. So if you can just see the very far end of the equity curve is completely flat, which means that we're not in a trade at the moment. So this is built in Excel, and anybody that's ever used Excel, which is presumably most people in the world, who've ever sat in front of a computer anyway. And you can see we've got rows of data here over on the left. I'll zoom in a little bit. We've got the open, high, low, close, and this is streaming in. Every time you see it drop a row there or change a row, that is data that is streamed in. We're streaming every 5 seconds from a platform, Rhythmic, our Trader Pro platform. We're hooking into their existing system for connecting Excel to the financial markets, in this case to the CME for futures, or mostly futures trading. We've got a few different indicators here. We're showing the EMA in particular. We've got the ATR, and we've also got the PPO, which is a combination of the EMA of three different EMAs. So we've got rows of data here. We can see our trades in here. Everything is happening in front of you. There's no confusing, as Ren, you were saying a moment ago, there's no confusing VBA going on in the background. Everything is happening in front of you. You can see, if I scroll down here, see there, that is the trade that we took a moment ago. And if I scroll right down here, we'll be able to see the trade which happened about 20 seconds ago. So we can see this trade here, taken at roughly the price we are at the moment. The scroll across here, very slightly in the negative at the moment, but you can see everything. You can log everything and follow your automated strategy. The spreadsheet's doing everything for you, and you can watch it run. So we're showing here the fact that we are net one contract, so we're long one contract here. So we're streaming this live. You can see every time these numbers change, that is new data. And if I go over here, you can get, for the people who want to get more into the actual prices, you can see we are, every tick here we're updating, and each new bar we're streaming into our spreadsheet to calculate the indicators.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this. You can see everything that's happening. You don't have to have, there's no guesswork. And if there's any question in the logic, you can just click right on the field, the row and column that you're questioning, and take a look at it and see how it's calculating the positions. So it's really very, very straightforward.
Exactly, yeah. So this is a system for non-techie people that want to be able to have control of their own automated trading. And it can be automated trading on the 5-second time frame, although we're not recommending the 5-second time frame. We're not recommending any time frame. But what we're doing today is demonstrating how quickly it can open and close trades in a live with live data.
So Mark, I did a little bit of testing this weekend on the 2-second time frame.
Yeah.
Just for the fun of it. And it works just fine. I would say going down to the 1-second time frame is a little bit speedy for Excel because it's doing all those calculations at the same time. So it still functioned, but I think the 2-second time frame is probably the lowest testing you really want to get involved in.
Yeah. If you've watched any of these previous videos, you'll know it's always Ren trying to get us faster and faster. And pushing it to its limits, whereas I've maybe got the handbrake on a bit. But we've settled on the 5-second time frame. It's a great time frame for these live streams that we do every Tuesday morning, starting at 9:15 Eastern time. And we're just about to go into the main stock trading session. You've usually got an alarm that signals where we are with that, Ren.
We should
about
have
100 yeah, it must be just coming up. We're 150 points down as we speak, so just over 1% down in the out of hours trading. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I do have the alarm set, so hopefully it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
the way I see it, the 5-second time frame, we're getting like a day's worth of trading. Like if you're trading the 1-minute time frame, we're getting a whole day's worth in our short little stream of 30 minutes, which is helpful. Here we go.
Yeah. Ren's a very impatient trader. I'm maybe slightly more cautious, but what we're doing today is demonstrating. So we're using a demo account here. This is paper trading. It's not quite for the fun of it, although we do enjoy it, but it's here to demonstrate what you can do with this type of model. And which reminds me, anybody who's here on the live stream, please just answer. We're here to answer any questions, any thoughts you had. Just pop them in the chat there.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're ready to answer some questions. Hopefully somebody, if you guys have tried it out, you'll have a couple questions, and we'd love to hear your experience too.
Yeah. We thrive on feedback. We update and make improvements based on feedback, and we love to hear what people are doing with it. What happens is the process, if you have not already got this spreadsheet, is you can follow the link below this video and you can sign up, download absolutely for free the Excel model, which I'm demonstrating here. You can get a free account with Rhythmic. You get a 2-week demo account in which you get pretty powerful functionality for that 2 weeks. You can see exactly what it does. And after that, you would have to decide whether or not, if you're not already a futures trader or don't already have an account with access to it, you can then open one or open an ongoing paper trading account, which is what we are using to demonstrate this the strategy today.
And Rhythmic is not going to bug you with advertising ever. They're the quietest company I've ever worked with.
They're amazing, aren't they? They've maybe got one person that deals with all the emails and all the feedback. I don't know. I've never heard from them anyway.
No, never. So yeah, if you just don't worry about getting spammed by this company, we will not contact you.
Ren is
They're,
being slightly tongue-in-cheek there. They are a very quiet company, quiet and professional, I would say, and they do not spam you. They do not send many emails at all.
yeah, it's good.
So the first move is to the downside.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty
okay,
strong
I
move.
guess it's
How's our trading strategy doing with this?
well. We let's have a look.
Yeah, we're watching the chart. Let's see how we're handling it. We took a little.
So yeah, that was a bit of a sharp loss here. I'm just zooming in on the. Again, if you're watching the video, you can see the bottom left. You can see the dashboard, the trading dashboard in the spreadsheet. We're currently flat on there, which suggests to me, indeed, we do not have a trade open. We
Right, hit
opened
our
one
target.
about a minute or so after the opening bell, but we've been stopped out.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We're taking another trade. So let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get. We're gonna take. Got a long one there.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we have set this up. Okay. So that was quick.
Yeah, that was profit target was hit immediately. That was
Yeah.
good.
So that was hit very quickly. So that shows you. I mean, this is that happened. I think less than 10 seconds actually. That shows you the power of what we're dealing with here. It's very quick. We've caught partially some of this uptrend. Now this is a very volatile market. It would be a little bit risky for most people to be trading this
Yeah.
by hand, to be day trading, bang, on the keyboard trying to get the best price because it moves so fast, especially NQ. We get loads of action, but it is very lively.
It is. It is. I think it's impossible to trade this by hand, but yeah,
On this time frame, yeah.
it will be impossible. But yeah, no, like I'm pretty impressed because we did take a little bit of a hit in the strategy, but then it popped right back in there. So if we take a look, we're probably still positive. Yeah, we're better. We're doing better on the day. The market itself is improving too, but we definitely have outperformed.
So if I scroll down here, you can see this Excel graph here in blue shows the underlying market over the. We've got about 1,000 rows of data, so that is 1,000 5-second bars showing here. And you can see we've more or less actually been pretty flat, looking like a cardiograph or whatever those things are called, which is actually slightly unusual. Let's see if we're going to get another pop up. Actually, we're flat again, so unlike strategy one, we could switch over to strategy one actually, Ren, if we get anything
Sure.
that looks like we might get a sustained uptrend.
Sure, so I'm good with that too. Let's give it a try.
Let's give it a try. Okay, so this is the. I'll just do it and then I'll explain what I'm
Yeah,
thinking about. So first of all, we wouldn't normally switch over in a live trading environment. That's very risky, but we're here demonstrating it. So what we're doing is I have flicked over to strategy one. So the different strategies have got different characteristics. So strategy two was much more of a mean reversion one. This is much more of a momentum strategy. So you would choose horses for courses and the
yep,
strategy that you think will fit the market environment the best.
right. And
And
you
you
can
can
see,
time control that. You don't have to make a manual decision. You can backtest it. You can decide which you can have a market regime filter. You could use volatility, or you can use a moving average, or any other indicator, volume filters to identify the best market environment for a particular strategy.
yeah. So this is basically strategy one is a more aggressive strategy, and strategy two is a
Mm,
more conservative strategy. So if you're afraid of the volatility, then strategy two on this particular sheet is the way to go, right, Mark?
I think that sums it up pretty well. We're trading in a generally risk-off risk. That's right, a risk-on environment over the past, well, really 4 or 5 months now, particularly for tech stocks, which dominate the Nasdaq 100, of course. So it has performed, given that it's performed pretty well over the times of these live streams, but we've had some big down days as well. And
Yeah.
really, you have to. We're here to demonstrate. We're not here to make this a winning strategy. Although I know you've tested it on a live account as well, Red.
I have
Maybe
actually.
you can
So
tell us about that.
it was about a month ago. I actually tried it out just to compare what we're seeing in the Rhythmic data feed compared to what you would actually get if you traded this exact spreadsheet using the live. And I did the micros. So the micros are like 1/10 the size of these contracts that we're trading here today.
Mm.
And it definitely did perform well. It performed quite well. And I was a lucky day where it was an upward trending market. So I was doing strategy one. And with the micros trading for the better part of the day, it made over like $120, which is really a small amount of money, but the amount that the micros are, it's actually quite impressive. So that was,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. And as we know, that these things can scale up very, very quickly. So, I mean, that's a fantastic result, I think.
yeah, I thought so too. Yeah,
There's plenty of liquidity in the micros now, isn't there? I was looking at, I
yeah,
can't remember
no
if
issues
it's
at all.
the S&P micros or the NASDAQ, but there's tons and tons of action there now.
Yep, absolutely. There's no trouble whatsoever trading. And I was just having some fun that day. I was actually trading on this 5 second time frame just for the fun of it. See how it would
Mm,
perform in the real world compared to
mhm.
what we're seeing in the results with Rhythmic, and it performed very very closely. So I would say the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the test I want to do is so frequently, I haven't done it yet, but the test I would like to do is to look at a slightly slower time frame, maybe the 15-minute time frame.
Yes,
Just taking a trade there. I'm just going to
and we closed one
just
too. It looks like we're really
yeah, it
there.
looks like there we go.
We do see more trades when strategy one can really pump out the trades.
It's pumping up the trades. Yeah, right now. So the latest signal that we've had is that we're back into a long trade, although we've just bought, sold, and bought again. Um, but again, if you're trading this live, you might want to say, well, I don't. Well, I'll only have. You can do whatever you like. You might want to have at least a minimum of 5 bars between each trade, or any number of different rules that suit the way you want to trade the market. So if you're currently a day trader or you want to get into day trading, decide all the rules you want and then just put them into Excel.
Yeah,
And as
absolutely.
Ren said, if you haven't got the programming background, which is not difficult, we're here to help you with that as well. So loads of flexibility, and you can recreate anything that you currently do or you would like to do. You can recreate it, you can backtest it, and then click a button and be trading it live.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to do actually. So it's once you get involved in it, it's like a slippery slope. It's pretty exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. A comment here from Samuel Young. Is this actually live or recorded? No, it's most
This is the
definitely
plan.
live. This is the live stream. So this is today's um, price action. YouTube delays the stream by about somewhere between 10 and 20 seconds, but you will recognize that this is indeed today, June 7th, price action.
Yes,
And
this is
if I
live
look at
data
the chart,
currently.
yeah, this is absolutely live. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the markets are going to do. And we're finding out as it happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
so
say
this
our
is,
strategy, our switch to
yeah,
strategy one probably wasn't the best choice.
yeah, maybe not, maybe not. So I'm just looking here on the at the Nasdaq chart. We're 100 points down, but we have made a bit of a recovery. We were about at
Yeah,
least 180 points down when I looked before.
we were.
So Tuesdays have been good to us.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, they are a very good day, particularly when we've had a big down day on Friday, although we had a good recovery day yesterday.
We did.
So it remains to be seen. We are still in a bit of a transitional stage. There is no way in my mind that we've restarted an upward trend.
Right.
But hopefully, at least for people who have a bullish outlook on the stock market, we're not about to start a new leg down in the bear market. We will see. But we could easily on this time frame have some strong trends.
Absolutely. On the 5 second time frame, we have little mini bull markets and bear markets all the time, every 30
Exactly.
minutes.
Yeah. And if in particular, like Ren, you like to have action all the time, I mean, this is the way you can get the most potential, because you get, the smaller the time frame, the more trades,
Yes.
generally speaking, you're going to be able to open, and that is more potential. So,
Absolutely.
and this enables you to do that, whether you want to trade on the 5 second or the 5 minutes, 15 minute. I like the 15 minute time frame. It doesn't
Yep.
do well for demonstrating in a live stream, but I like it as giving a bit of a balance between some decent trends, less noise than on the 5 second time frame, but
Absolutely.
also plenty of action as well. And
It
for trading
does.
on the 15 minute, an automated system like this is the best way to do it, so you don't have to be at your desk all day long seeing if your conditions, your entry conditions, are met.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about the little bit longer time frames. You don't want to be staring at the screen for sure. And you can go about your workday and just have it running in the background, which is really
Mm.
nice. So,
You can,
so here's the interesting, yeah, look at strategy one is definitely getting beat up a little bit for some reason. But
yeah. So we've seen many days when this has performed well, but it may be that this is not going to be one of those days. If you're watching the video on live or on recorded catch up, what we're referring to is the bottom left of the screen here, which is the Excel trading and backtesting dashboard. Now, just this second entered a new long trade, and we'll wait and see what happens with that. But if I drag it across here, I did show this briefly earlier in the video. You can
yeah,
adjust the profit target. I'll zoom in again. I know it's difficult to see if you're watching this on a small screen.
it is. Yeah.
Profit target here, that's measured in points. So we've set it to 25 points here. Stop loss 20 points. We've got some other things. You can adjust the EMAs that go into the strategy. And we've got some exit conditions here. One of these in particular is the time stop. So that's simply, if a trade is not performing, or if it is performing, whatever the conditions you program in there, after a certain number of bars, we exit that trade.
Now I have a question about that one, Mark. So,
Mm.
so I was looking at. I know our description on our sheet says that. Sorry. The description says we're going to exit after X amount of bars on a profitable trade, but yeah, I was wondering if that is the case or is it just X amount of bars? So,
Yeah, yeah, you're
so
right. It's certainly been both. It's been both. I must admit, I try both types of scenarios.
which one do
I
you like better? Yeah,
Yeah, again, it's every all these little things are going to adjust the profile of the results. So if you have a fixed time stop that is always there, you can probably afford to have a slightly wider stop loss, because you've got a risk setting in there, although it won't save you from a very, very fast shock in the way a stop loss would do. It also doesn't react in the way a stop loss would do to high volatility. So they're just a different way of approaching exiting a trade. If you have it switched on, as the text says there, if the trade is in profit, then you probably do need a slightly tighter stop loss on average, because inevitably there's going to be some times when the trade is just going to go and go away, and it will never, or not within any reasonable time frame, come back to your entry point.
right. So which one do you prefer more often? Do you prefer just to close it
Um,
bars? That's what I've been doing. It's just
yeah,
X.
hedging my bets here, but I would say I use both of them, and probably what we should have, rather than having, it's nice to have controls. Sometimes you can have too many controls. It's probably another checkbox that will select between the two of them.
Yeah, we could do one. We could easily do that. Yeah.
Super easy to make that change. So again, it all comes down to personal preference. Setting up the another thing I tried along similar lines is, I haven't shown it on this particular model, but something I did with my backtest models for the membership group that I have for that is I adjusted the trading stop so that you can select. Again, it's a small detail, but sometimes these small details matter. you can either trail it from the moment the stop open, from the moment the trade opens, or from when the trade or the trading stop would turn it into a profitable trade.
That's a good one. I like that. That
Yeah,
was
so again, adjusted with a simple checkbox, and you can have exactly the setup that you want, that fits your strategy, that fits the market, fits the time frame that you like to work on.
absolutely. So yes, good time to ask if there's any more questions because we're kind of running up, we're closing our time out soon. So
Yeah, right. So anybody watching the video here on the live stream, please feel free. If you're in any way interested in doing this, you're already doing this, you have any questions about how we're doing this, please pop them in the box. Any comments as well.
yep.
So strategy 1 has not performed today. Let
Just
me
out of
see.
curiosity, we click to see what strategy 2 would have done. Let's see how it would have performed
Yeah,
if we kept going.
well, there's some sort of game show, isn't there, that said this is what you could have won.
Yeah, exactly. It's a game show.
Yeah, so
Oh,
there
see,
we
look
go.
at
That's
that.
what we could have won.
We should have stayed with it.
We made the wrong. What we were doing though is demonstrating that, yeah, horses for courses, demonstrating that there is different ways of trading the market, and it is very, very easy to switch between them. And yeah, strategy 2 seems to be the winner today. Maybe I'll have a look and see if we've got another setup for strategy 2 that does better during these upwardly trending markets, and maybe that might become our preferred one.
It may be. I've been noticing that too when I've been playing around with it. Strategy 2 has been my favorite one recently. But it could be because we're in a down market, so or more volatile market. So strategy 2 tends to perform well in volatile markets, it really does. And strategy 1, it really only performs when we're trending higher. It's just a very good trending one.
Yeah. So a question from Matt Hibbs. What cell does the broker use for the orders? Ren?
Okay, so I'm sorry, repeat the question again real quick.
What cell does the broker use for orders?
Oh,
I
so
think,
this would be on, yes, you're looking at your place orders tab here. It's that first, what is it, the third row down? That one where it says sell, that's the row that you would set, this gets sent to the brokerage. So you have one contract there. You can change the quantity of the contracts. I've done up to, I've actually put in 100 just for the fun of it to see if it could fill them, and it has. But yeah, that's the one. If that's the question you're asking, that's the row and column right where it says sell one NQ CME. That's where we send that to the broker.
yeah. So am I right in saying, Ren, that this is the these 5 cells would effectively be the, well, cell would be showing the last order, quantity 1, obviously one contract, symbol the NQ, Nasdaq 100
Now,
futures, the exchange CME,
yep, and the
market
market
order.
order. So now if you stay on this sheet and then we get another trade, that will change to buy and it will change it. We're doing market orders at the moment. We can also do limit orders, whatever you prefer. Like one way to approach the limit order would be just to take the current price plus like 25 cents and put a limit order in. That was another thing I've been playing around with. It worked really well. But market orders for the demonstrations here this morning are better because we want to get every trade that we can. So we're just going to put everything up as a market.
Yeah, we're just here to demonstrate the potential for this. Any symbol that is available through our trader, which is, again, we're not affiliated with them, but we're just using their connection to put orders into the market.
And this is
what we're demonstrating is the spreadsheet, which you won't get from Rhythmic. We've got a bit of data here showing the last order status. Something I didn't demonstrate earlier on is that we are currently enabled, which means we're enabled for live trading. Our most recent trade was a sell position, so we're currently flat. We do not have a trade in the market.
Yeah, and that place orders tab is a really nice place to see what your account balance is, what your current, you can see your P&L for the day, what your P&L on each individual trade is as well. It's kind of a good place just to overview of what you've got. And we also show like the current row of data, how many, all the things you kind of want to know. and you can add whatever you wanted in there. So that's kind of like a display for like what's been happening.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you've got basically a dashboard there for your actual trading, your actual live trading, the orders that go into your brokers. But go across here, it will tell you the current positions and the positions that have been opened today. We've got a chart here showing this is the strategy equity curve pointing upwards, which is always good to see. And
Yeah.
I showed this briefly earlier for people who want to see the exact bid-ask prices streamed in, current bar, previous bar, and all the other bars. So we scroll down here. So there's a ton of data here for all the analysis that you might want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think we've demonstrated it today, Ren, and
Yep. Great
by all
trading.
means, if there's any further questions, pop them into the chat box. Sam or Matt or anybody else, let us know any questions or any thoughts you have.
Feel free to email us as well and
Yeah,
download.
feel free. Yeah, if you're
It's all
watching
free.
this on catch up, yeah, drop us an email. And remember, you can download this for free. You can be doing this yourself
Absolutely. Yeah.
in a demo trading environment. And there we go. Yeah, strategy 2 worked well today, Ren. So we're gonna have to work on this now.
Oh, here we got a trade. You want to take a look at the place orders tab
Aha.
and just
Here,
show how. There you go. Now you can see where it shows that it bought and it went to a buy. Also, you can see up in the upper right where it's green, it says bought. So that was our last trade. And our positions, open positions, right in the middle there shows you have one contract open. So
there we go.
right there. And to the left, you'll see your open P&L on this trade. We're down $60 on that one. So it's now it's down 190. But yeah, you see it fluctuating. So you can see what the status of your trade is that you have on in real time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, nice little way just to keep track of them there. Yeah, we can see on our equity curve what we've sold off. So we're limiting our risk. If the market starts to fall after we've opened a trade, then we're limiting our risk using correct risk management systems. So we may lose a bit, but we don't want to lose a lot. That's a good mantra to stick with in any type of trading, particularly automated trading. But what we're doing here is letting the spreadsheet do the work.
Yeah,
so I think we'll finish the live stream. Ren, have you got any final thoughts about today?
No, that was a great demonstration. Thank you, Mark, for hosting. It's exciting. So I'm very impressed with strategy 2 today. It really worked well. That was impressive.
So we're going to do more work on strategy 2. Join us. You can join us next week, same time, roughly 9:15 a.m. 15 minutes before the opening bell in the New York time. And this has been the Tradinformed backtest and live trading model live stream.
Thanks again, Mark.